Welcome to the channel. I'm the Swedish dividend investor. Guys, we have hit 500 subscribers. It blows my mind. Imagine stepping up on a stage with 500 people in front of you. Man, my legs would be shaking. It also happened really fast. About 2 months ago, we hit 250 subscribers. So in just 2 months, we have doubled the amount. At this rate, we might hit 1000 subscribers this year, and that is insane. Sure, I can't count on that, but it seems like it compounds. The more videos I make, the more you guys interact, the faster the growth. But we are conservative here. We wouldn't count on a company to double their earnings every quarter in perpetuity, unless you're an NVIDIA investor. So, if you have ever watched another of my subscriber specials, you know this will be a different kind of video. I'm going to talk a bit about myself, my investment journey, answer some questions, the future of the channel, and we will also go over some data from YouTube analytics. I always enjoy that. So, this is more of a podcast format video. Put on your headphones and do something productive in the meantime. We have a lot of new subscribers, and if you haven't watched my other subscriber specials, I can tell you a bit about who I am. I'm a Swedish investor, living in the southern part of Sweden. I would say I'm just a normal guy. I don't earn insane amounts of money. I have a small business with 1 employee. It is in the service sector and it's a blue-collar job. If you feel my YouTube name is too long, you can just call me L. So, for all you new subscribers, welcome. On my last subscriber special, I got this comment, and it's quite a long one. Oh boy, here we go with the names again. Jibunu Name wrote, I request a part 2 of this special, since you left out some details which at least I would have considered very interesting. Things as when did you start investing? What would you contribute to the reason for getting into investing? Why did you specifically choose to invest like you do? Making stock picks and not just relying on a bank's investment service instead. Oh, and I would love to hear what broker alternatives you have in Sweden. And which do you choose and for what merits? On average, what do you have to pay for transaction fees? I have to ship out 7 to 9 euros per transaction for local equity and a veritable truckload of cash if I buy or sell US stocks, which is why I'm slowly moving to a non-local broker, even if I have to fill my taxes manually thereafter. I'm not looking for anything too personal, but a little bit of the profile of the investor that you are. First off, thanks for the comment and suggestion. We need to break it down a bit here. The first part as to why, when and how I started investing. I touched on this in my 100 subscriber special, but I can go through it again, a bit more condensed. When I started investing in 2019, I started with day trading, but it didn't really fit me. It was very time consuming and it stressed me out. Just to be clear, I don't think day trading is investing, it's just a way to make money. So, I got a book from my now deceased father called The Simple Way, Get Rich with Dividends. It's a book by a Swedish author called Marcus Hernhag. The title for my Swedish viewer is Den enkla vägen, bli rik på aktieutdelning. At first it didn't click, because I thought with 2 to 4% dividends I would need a boatload of money invested. But the ball was rolling and it got me to dig deeper. Then I started reading and watching videos about living frugally and saving money and what it could do if you just stuck with it. I started doing calculations on how long it would take me to get to financial freedom, and when I figured out it would only take me 10 to 15 years if I saved aggressively, I got my mind right, created a plan for myself and just followed it. And for the reason to why I started. It started with me wanting my money to work for me. I sold my apartment in 2018 and made a huge profit, so I had a decent chunk of cash. During 2019, my business started to make some decent profit as well. I was aware about what inflation does to your buying power over time, and I figured I needed to protect my money and make it grow. Another reason is the line of work I do. It's physical labor, working outside in both the warmth of the summer or in freezing temperatures during the winter. Now, I love my job and my business, and I do enjoy working with my body. But I don't want to do that all my life or until old age at least. So I figured I could use the profits and my salary from my business to start a money machine. I think it all comes down to the freedom money can buy you. That's my end goal. The freedom to choose what I do and when I do it. Isn't that the goal for all of us? I don't even aim to get stupidly rich. I would be happy if I can reach a point where I can work part-time with a passion project, or heck, even do some volunteer work. I just want my freedom and some peace of mind. Now, the investment style choice. I touched on this in the 100 sub special as well. My dad lost a lot of money during the dot-com bubble. Naturally, I held the belief that the stock market was a casino, since from my point of view, or at least my dad, it was. So I wanted to know what went wrong. Valuations, euphoria, and plain stupidity, if you ask me. So that's what led me down the rabbit hole of value investing, fundamental analysis, discounted cash flow models, and a common sense. With regards to investment analysis, have you ever noticed how they recommend stocks? When a stock is running, they make buy recommendation and raise the recommended buying price. And when a stock goes down, they lower their buy price and recommend selling. Does that make any sense? If the fundamentals stay the same, the buy price should stay the same. They only follow the current day at the market. I guess I have always been somewhat of a contrarian. When people run in one direction, I usually go the other way. Or at least ask myself, why are they going there? So with that in mind, I wanted to rely on my own common sense and to take some accountability with my investment decisions. If an investment goes south for me, it's my own fault for not doing enough research, and I have to do better. I'm not going to blame the man or Wall Street or the Fed. Also, it made sense for me to pick individual stocks. I'm a business owner myself, and when you pick stocks yourself, you have to focus on the business fundamentals. Dividends, earnings, and cash flow, not the current price. Like, imagine having your own business. It's doing okay. You make a decent profit every year. New customers roll in, and it's growing slowly. That's the value of your business. For small, privately owned business, you don't have people shouting offers for your business. Offers that swings widely each day. As a business owner, you don't go around all day wondering what the market is ready to pay for your business. You focus on earnings, cash flow, and dividends. Price only matters in relation to what value you get from it. Just like Warren Buffett said, price is what you pay, value is what you get. I hope I'm making some sense here. Now, for my choice of broker, I use Avanza, a Swedish broker. They have been around since 1999 and is a digital bank. I started using them because of their low fees for stock trading, since I started out day trading, but I stuck with them because they at least used to offer access to a lot of different equity. They sadly put down the ban hammer on business development companies last year, so I also use a Finnish/Nordic bank called Nordea, since they seem to be a bit more loose on what you can buy and what you can't buy. I'm sorry to hear you have to pay so much in fees, especially for local equity. For Swedish stocks, I pay as little as 1 Swedish crown. That's like 0.1 euros. But for international stocks, it goes up to around 1 to 1.5 euros and keeps climbing a bit if the transaction is larger. To not pay so much in fees, I tend to invest larger sums of money. Since if I buy one share worth 25 euros and the fees are 1.5, that share will cost me 26.5 euros. If I buy, say, 50 shares worth 25 euros and the fee is 15 euros, the fee per share comes down to 0.3 euros instead. I hope you can find a good, low-fee broker. And again, thanks for the comment. So, what's next for my channel? Well, my next goal, and this has been a long-term goal of mine, is to reach 1000 subscribers. Maybe it will take another 2 months, or maybe it will take 6 months. I'm fine anyways. I'm having fun, I get to be creative, and I also get to connect with you guys on a daily basis. The reason for my 1000 sub goal is to be able to monetize my channel. Sure, I would need 4000 hours of watch time as well. We will see how we are doing there later. This channel is a passion project of mine, and honestly, just a hobby. However, it is pretty time consuming, and I sure wouldn't mind to get some income. But we will get there someday, naturally, I think. There is also the route of Patreon or a similar site, but I feel I would need to add some additional value for my viewers who want to donate. And I'm not talking about early access to my videos or talk to me directly on Patreon. I'm talking about some real value here. I'm not in a hurry to launch something like that, and I'm not even sure if anyone would pay for it anyway. I think slow and steady will work for me. Someday I will reach the criteria for ad revenue, if I'm just stubborn enough, which I am. Going forward, now when my work situation isn't as bad as it was during the summer, I would like to get into my favorite kind of videos, the conceptual videos. Sure, I like doing valuations and deep dives, but I have the most fun doing videos where we do some thought experiments, build a spreadsheet and do some different calculations and different scenarios. They are usually pretty time consuming, and I think I will have a bit more time for them, at least a couple of months out. Don't worry, for those who like the deep dives and valuations, they will still be made. During my vacation, I started to read a book I got this spring, but didn't have time to read it. I will do a book review when I'm finished with it. I can say I really enjoyed the book so far. I'm also a bit behind on giving you guys some spreadsheets. That is also coming up. For investments going forward, I will be focused on building the high yield portfolio. Now, this doesn't mean I will blindly invest. They have to be in a range where I think they are fairly valued. I want to focus on that portfolio so we can get to full positions, and then I won't add new capital. Just reinvest all the income we get from that account, and then we will follow the performance and how much the income will grow over time. Now it's time for some YouTube analytics data. Starting off with the last 28 days, since now the channel has a bit more activity. We can see my views are sitting at 5.1k. Then we have a total watch time of 360 hours and we have gained 110 subscribers. But let's change that to the whole year of 2025. Now we can see we have 21.9k views, 1.4k watch hours, which is just insane. Like that's around 54 days worth of watch time. Unbelievable. And we see a sub count of 514. Scrolling down, we can see my top content. Finding the European SCHD is still my most popular video, and I have gotten over 120 subscribers just from that video. At second place, we have Dividend Kings in a market crash. VEdgeYL at third place. BMY at fourth place, which is kind of funny because the video didn't do well when I released it. And at fifth place, we have 3 currently undervalued stocks. Moving over to the audience tab, we can see my monthly audience was a bit bumpy in the beginning, but we see a nice steady trend since around May. The time of the day is the same as the last time we checked, between 6 PM and 10 PM. Device type is pretty evenly split between phone and computer, and a decent bunch of you are watching on the TV. Imagine that. Our watch time from subscribers is only 21.7%. Not subscribed is 78.4%. Geography. The US is still topping the list, followed by UK, Sweden, Germany, and the Netherlands. When we look at age and gender, we still see 100% men, but I have seen both female subscribers and commenters, so that's just YouTube being YouTube. The age category. Most people watching are around my age, 35 to 44 years old, followed by 45 to 54 years old, and 25 to 34 years old. We have some younger and some older. Going into geography, we see a bunch of countries, but I figured we will sort by average view duration, so we can see which country has the best attention span, or just being patient with me. I got to say, I was kind of surprised. we can see Romania at the top, followed by Thailand. Then we have Sweden, Finland and Denmark. If I ever reach monetization, we will go through that as well. Maybe not monthly, but every quarter or so. I find it very interesting to go through the data to see how things changes, what works and what doesn't work. So, the video is wrapping up, but before we go, I just want to thank you guys for your support. Your continued interactions keep me motivated to keep on doing what I do. So a big thank you to both the regular viewers and new viewers. Let's stay smart, patient and keep stacking those dividends together. I'm the Swedish dividend investor. Ha det gött!